Hey, I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood, and today I want to show you a little, we're going to do like a story about this log cabin that we just restored. So a young couple just took over the home. It was left grade. The previous owners didn't know that they were supposed to upkeep it. Whatever they were told. But you still have to put stain, sealer, that kind of stuff on there. Protects the logs, keeps the integrity there. It also prevents it from cracking or excessive cracking and checking in the logs and so forth, and especially the seams in between the logs, especially when we have tight logs and there's no chinking. So if you look behind me, you'll see the logs. We'll start here. This is a very large deck I'm standing on, probably one of the largest floor decks I've seen anywhere. And I mean, you could have a banquet out here on this deck, and we'll pan around in a minute and show you that. And the logs are all behind me. Now the logs really have some beautiful logs because they have a lot of natural characteristic in them that's amazing, which is pretty neat. But these were, I mean, gray, but this was a protected area. And as we go around, I'm going to show you an area where we're going to have to match it up, where the roof of what we're looking at over here, the deck, is protecting these logs so it looks different than the sun exposed side over here. And we're going to go all the way around the different sides. We'll take a look at this. You can see what we see now that we're finished. But this was an amazing project. Customers are extremely happy. And by the way, you're going to see some red trim in some of these shots. The red trim is being changed to green, and you'll see the guys working on that and changing it to green. This is what they wanted, and it's looking pretty good. It pops. Me personally, I'm a dark brown guy. I would have with the lighter colors, but that's just me. We did use a different tone on the deck than we did on the logs. There's a little bit of difference. You can see that, but it's just a slight variation. More brownish on the deck, and more of a cedar. There's a little bit of an orange hue to the logs. So now that I've given you a introduction to what we're going to look at, we'll get into depth and take a look at this thing. So while I'm doing that, we'll just pan around and you can see some of the, they've already moved their grill out here, but you can see what this deck looks like and how big it is. Hey, I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood, back with you on another section of this cabin. I wanted to show you this because it's a challenge that a lot of people run into. So I alluded to it with the roof being here. So the roof, as the sun comes around, it's coming in here, and then what happens is it gets protected from the roof, and then it doesn't wear as much here as it is over here. So there's the delineation in the stain, and you can see that along the edge, and we see that a lot. So what happens is we have to treat this different than this. Normally what we do is we'll do a coat here, feather it in here, 2 coats over here. Sometimes, depending on how dry the wood is, how many coats, you might have to go 2 coats and 3 coats. But you're going to want to put an extra coat where it's worn heavier. That's the only way you can match it up. If you were just to put 1 coat and 1 coat or 2 coats and 2 coats on here, you're still going to see the delineation. So you've got to think out of the box and how can I match that up? And that's how you do it moving forward. So that's our next step along the way around the cabin. Okay, here we are. I wanted to grab the backside part of it and then this one side of the house. Now the side is not, it's very high, but it's not that wide, we'll say, as this because this cabin is very long. The one thing you want to do when you stain a wood home or a log cabin, you want to stain the same side all in one day. And there's a couple ways to do that. Most of the time we're doing stains, it's a wet on wet application, so you got to put on the second coat at the same time you put on the first coat, or within, you know, a reasonable amount of time. First coat can't dry before you put on the second coat. That makes this very difficult when you have a long log cabin. You got to have the manpower to do that. If you really don't want to see any lap marks or anything, just in case. I mean, some products you don't have to worry about with lap marks, some you do. But anyway, we do this whole side with all the guys working, and then we just go from bottom to top. Bottom to top, because stain's different than paint. You can paint and just paint over whatever, your drips, everything. However, when you stain, a drip mark is a coat, and that means it's an extra coat. So when you stain from the bottom up, the stain goes to the bottom or falls to what you've already stained, and then you can just brush it in, it'll repel itself. Stains and sealers will repel themselves. So anyway, when you turn around here, you look, we've got the windows prepped and taped up. They're going from the red to green. You'll see the green out front. This was all done very well with 2 folks, 2 guys that did a really good job working tandem together, did this whole thing on one side one day. On the back side and the front side, you'll see we got a brigade going where the guys are working, but some are doing windows. But anyway, that's the side. You can get a chance to see the back end of the side from the corner. Let's go around to the front and take a look. I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood, now with the front of the cabin. So when you look at the cabin, we'll pan around. You got the guys are working. You'll see the green on the trim, and you see the logs. The challenge with the logs on this one is the front was actually stained. That's kind of what doesn't make sense when previous owners told them they didn't know they had to stain it, because somebody put a coat on the front. Now, it stands to reason, there's a lot of woods here. You can barely see the front of the house to the road, but you can, and I'm sure in the wintertime when there's nothing on the trees, you sure can. So what happens is they probably put a stain to make it look good on the front. So we had to use a stripper on the front. And this becomes the rub with restoring this house, because if we use stripper on the front, the only way the other logs are going to look good is to use the same stripper and do the same process. The only difference will be the dwell time. So we let it dwell on the front for about 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes before we took that off. And then on the sides, it was like 5 to 10 minutes, and then take that off, because we're using it now as a cleaner. We also diluted it down, our solution, when we did the sides and the back. And that kind of got everything looking even. As you can tell by the different sides that we've shown you, that everything is looking pretty even as we go around here. We're finishing up today or tomorrow, so that's why we wanted to do the video now, so you kind of see, you know, how this all came together and tell you a little bit about how it's come together. But if you look, everything looks really good. The deck, depending on how we showed you the front way into the house, depending on how it looked with the sun and the lighting in the back, the front actually matches the back deck. That was the same stain. The logs are obviously different, as I alluded to before. So this is our Seneca brown, so it's a lighter brown that's in there. So we actually put a little of our maple shade brown in there, which is something interesting, and I've done videos on this called intermixing, where you can actually take a little bit of stain, a darker stain of the same manufacturer, put it in, and then what happens is you can tint and darken it up, or whatever you would have to do to, if somebody said, hey, I like this color, but it can be a little darker. And then you can do that. It's kind of custom tinting. It gets you in, as long as you keep the track of the ratio, because when you come back for maintenance, you want to keep that same ratio moving forward. So anyway, you can see the guys working. We're finishing up, and all good stuff here. All right. We'll take a walk over here, we'll finish up, take a look a little closer, and then you'll be able to see what we've done here at this log cabin. Here we are around the front of the cabin. We're gonna tie up some loose ends, do some other stuff here. But you can see what the green looks like when it's done over here on the trim. Looks a lot better to me than the red. Like I said, I would have been a dark brown guy. But anyway, one of the things we do is we put wood putty in the logs. And on the wood putty, what we normally do, and we're going to get that here, is we're going to put stain on that. And when I say stain, like more of an opaque stain, and we just put it on with like our finger, just over top of the putty, let it dry, and then when we go ahead and we add the finished coat of the stain, which in this case is transparent, it's our Tabernacle Harvest, that looks like a knot and it blends in. It'll blend in with the darker brown that's already in the logs. Now, whenever we have these heavy cracks are worn, most of this is pretty tight, but what we do is, that's a big gap for sealer chinking, chinking or whatever we're going to use. I don't recommend caulk. Chinking moves with the wood, energy seal, that kind of stuff. Energy seal more for inside, chinking on the outside. But what you want to do, so you don't use as much product, is you're going to put this in. Okay. And then that way it fills the gap, so you don't use as much. Because if you were just to use your gun or however you're going to apply it with the chinking, it would just fill that hole and you would use a ton. So that's what we put in there, and that's how that should go. All right. I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video to see what we did as we worked around this log cabin. Hopefully you picked up a couple things. If you have questions, how we did something or anything about this video, please leave them in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer them for you. Thank you for watching the video. Thanks for subscribing to the channel.